Good morning from still sunny Silverstone. Some high cloud here for a Sunday of action with all sorts of racing going on, but we're here to talk about the Britcar Endurance Championship and the Trophy Championship, the part of the British Endurance Championship calendar that looks after the lower powered cars. These are cars that would be below the kind of TCR GT4 levels of performance in 5 classes. We'll get through those as we get to see the cars out on track right now, coming through the complex and round on a formation lap. 35 cars across those 5 classes making up the grid for what will be a slightly shorter than normal. Normally 50-minute races. Today, 2 races of 45 minutes each. That's where we are at the moment. Just under 15 degrees temperature. 53% humidity, little bit of wind in the air, and that high cloud, as I say. Bright sunshine early this morning, and the potential for more sunshine to come as we get deeper into this race. Doesn't look as if we're going to see any rain whatsoever. That's what they always say, isn't it? The Mustang pace car at the front. Let's take a look at the grid. Starting grid for this one comes with Simon Green Motorsports number 40 car. On pole position. Then the number 98 car. It's an invitation entry from Racelab, the 74 SVG Ginetta, so it's a BMW 1.2. Ginetta 111 from Data Motorsport makes up the second row. It's a third Ginetta with the SVG Motorsport 24 alongside the MacG Racing 33 Mazda RX-8. Team Brits BMW is 7th with the Jeff Steele 179 BMW E36 in 8th. Then we get into the VWs, the Chandler Motorsport 35, the 76 Toad Motorsport BMW, then the Saxon VW number 55, and the Motus One Renault number 4 is the first of the Clios. 555 Westbourne Motors Clio alongside the TSR number 77, and the number 96 Dragon Sport Renault Clio alongside another Clio from Motus One, the number 11 car. 17th is the JW Bird VW, then the 89 Renault is 18th, and rounding up the top 20 is the 69 Westbourne Motors Clio and the Motus One 13 Renault. 21st for the Motus One 28, the Westbourne Motors Clio alongside 41, and then a pair of VWs, the 127 in 23rd and the number 7 TSR car in 24th position. 27, another the Ginetta G40s this time from Raceway Motorsport, then the Saxon 63, that's the Scirocco. 26th, 27th, another of the G40s from Raceway, Oryx Motorsport, and what is down there is a Seat, but is actually a VW Golf this weekend. And then we get into the G40s, SVG Motorsports 91 alongside the same team, but number 62 car, and it's another 2 SVG Motorsport G40s, the 54 and the 31 in 31st and 32nd place. 59 and 44 make it another pair, and indeed another pair behind that of SVG Motorsport G40s for the 78 and 36 car. I'm hearing the 179 car with Nigel Greenson at the wheel is in trouble on the outlap and may well have pulled over, may not be making this grid. So we'll keep an eye out for that car. That's rather a shame if that's the case. Nigel Greensill, a racer of some note. We'll get the 64 Clio, 64 Scirocco rather, in amongst the little touring cars, Golfs and Clios making up this middle pack. This is the 55 Alford Golf. David, down on the grid, busy down there.
Yes, Graham, I'm down here, and there's a brilliant mix of cars, and there should be some cracking battles between, obviously, the slightly higher powered cars of the BMWs and the Ginettas, coming all the way back to the Golfs and the Clios. I think that we should see some quite spectacular racing today.
Yeah, 4 of the 5 classes well populated, 3 cars only in class 2, but beyond that it's 8, 9, 10 cars per class, and as you quite rightly say, those class 1 cars, the BMW M3s, the Ginetta G55s and that little Mazda RX-8, they're going to be the ones we're looking for overall honours as the grid is cleared, ready for action down there. So green flag
off the
in
start.
the hand.
The BMWs are obviously going to be a little bit quicker down the straight, but the Ginettas, I think, are going to have them maybe through the faster corners with the additional aero they've got.
Yeah, old school sort of racing in the Britcar Trophy Series. And remember, 5 classes, it's the points overall scored by the car, not the drivers here. So it's actually 3 different classes, or class leaders, head up the overall point standings. We'll get into that when the controlled mayhem of this start gets underway. Cars now underway on the green flag lap behind that Mustang pace car as they come streaming through the midfield. Clios and VWs, little G40 Ginettas. This G40 Cup class for over 35-year-old drivers only. We have much younger drivers further up that grid, and much older drivers for that matter as well in a couple of those cars. Through comes the field with the pole position or the front row BMWs ahead of 3 Ginettas, then the black and yellow Mach-G Racing Mazda RX-8, little screamer that car. Delighted to be joined, by the way, in the comms box by Chris again. Chris, it's going to be quite an interesting race.
It's great to be here and watching this fantastic field of cars. I've popped out the commentary box briefly, and the weather out there is absolutely ideal for motorsport today. Cool breeze, light cloud cover, and it's certainly going to be rapid cars around this Silverstone Grand Prix circuit. So
it's 45 minutes for this. No driver can do more than 60% of the race. That means no more than 27 minutes. Pit lane will be open for a mandatory stop, whether or not there's driver change or not. A number of these cars are sole drivers only for 20 minutes past the start of the race, and will close 15 minutes later. Keep an eye out for that one. There's been a few mistakes in earlier rounds with penalties coming flying the way of some of these cars.
15 minutes is not a long time to get all these cars stopped in the pit lane, and it's going to be a busy time. It's it's a long pit lane down Silverstone's National Straight, but still, a lot of cars to get manoeuvred in and out there.
It's sort of an old-fashioned mixed grid race, this, and absolutely none the worse for that. Great to see such variety and depth in that variety as well. BMWs, Renaults, the little Mazda, the VW Golfs, a couple of Scirocco's in there as well, including this gorgeous 63 car. That's the black and teal car at the back there. That car, a replica of the VW factory efforts, the Nürburgring 24 Hours a few years ago, built by a team in Lithuania, now obtained by the Saxon Motorsport squad. But keep an ear out as well as an eye out for that Mazda, the rotary engine. A real little screamer.
You can see this British Motor Show safety car here, the Mustang, 18th to the 21st of August. You can see that as the British Motor Show, and plenty of car-based action there, but nice to see the Mustang out here leading. It's a great sound that makes as well as it goes around the track.
It was fired up just as I arrived this morning. I thought it was rolling thunder. Turns out it's not. It's a 5-litre V8. And this now a global car, of course, for Ford. And picking up love all around the world, and certainly here in the UK, becoming quite a common sight on the roads of the UK. And great to see it here, leading, well, a grid of its peers, Chris, I reckon.
Yeah, there's certainly some serious race machinery and some engines under those as well, isn't there? Ready to get going as we come down here, down the Wellington Straight. You see the green flags. It's a green flag lap to make sure the drivers all know where those marshal posts are. Check the conditions out there on track. It was a bit different when they probably were out last in testing as they make their way through. We've got a car there.
Trouble for the number 7 car there. That is the Mark Jones and Robert Taylor car from TSR. That's a big problem for that team. One of 2 cars that TSR have got in this Class 2.
Wonder whether that will lead to another formation lap if the marshals call that in or not.
Well, we'll keep an eye on anything we hear from race control. But neat and tidy at the moment. Coming down now towards what should be the start of this race. Yep, we're going to go racing. Safety car is in.
Timer hasn't started, so I think they have aborted that race start there.
So it happened just at that moment, didn't it?
Well spotted by all the drivers. It's not easy to do because they had picked up the speed already, so good awareness from all those drivers.
The 7 car is moving. Is it moving? Yes, no.
It's not
definitely
happy,
struggling. It's not a happy Golf, is it?
That's right, but yeah, well spotted by all the drivers behind especially. We've seen in Formula 1 even, they crash into each other once the speed picks up and then drops off again, but they clearly got the signal that it was a delayed start, and everyone gets to do another lap, and around we'll go in this heat haze now, look.
You're right there, Chris. That was heads-up stuff from all the drivers there. That could have very easily been a messy moment. If we hear what the problem is for that golf, we hear a lot about golf handicaps. That's clearly a problem there. Stuttering along, wasn't it? That's electronics.
You know, it could be a grabbing brake. It could be, all sorts of different things can cause that kind of thing. A broken bearing, maybe even something that causes it to sort of be able to move, but just not in a smooth fashion.
Yeah, confirmation by the way, and that is the reason for the aborted starts. Simon Green Motorsport BMW 46 is the car that will start from pole position. That number 40 car in the hands of Jas Sabra, the orange car. Clock has now started. So confirm, clock started for the final car starting this second green flag lap.
So yeah, they're not under racing conditions, but the clock has started. Their 45 minutes allocated time today is underway, and so we are officially racing, but not under racing conditions just yet.
Yeah, no safety car at the front of this field, and showing good discipline this field. They come past the new pits. New pits, they don't feel that new anymore, do they? But
No,
a very different look nowadays to Silverstone, with the new hotel over to the right-hand side of that shot, new bridge.
Yeah, the new landmark of Silverstone. It's always nice to see new landmarks, and that one looks rather a spectacular one, I have to say.
It does. Great to see as the world opens up, international racing coming back here. Almost looks like they're ready to be trigger happy here, doesn't it? But good stuff at the moment, this field, as I say, showing great discipline.
They haven't got the safety car in front of them this time around, so they're going to have to do their own forming up and working out the pace as they come down towards that line. Again, experienced drivers in this field, I'm sure they will work that all through as they will start to line up side by side as we go down the Wellington Straight, ready for their rolling start.
Yeah, these BMWs quicker in a straight line than the Ginettas behind, and excellent discipline there. It's Lee Frost in the number 98 car, good mates. These two men at the head of this field. They're going to have the advantage in a straight line, but around the turns, the better aero on those Ginettas, lighter car, very nimble. That's going to make life very interesting in these opening laps. So round we come again, and ready to go this time. It looks as if they are. Hold your breath, because I think we're about to go racing with just about 41 minutes left on the clock. Plenty of action to come. They hold, they hold, they hold. And we've gone green flood racer this time. It looked to me like the white BMW around the outside there, into Copse Corner. I think we're going to see we have. That is the number 74 car of Mark, of number 40 car, sorry. No, the 98 car, start again, is to the lead of this race, ahead of Jas Sabra in the number 40, but all over the rear of the second of the BMWs is the first of those SVG Ginettas, and through they come behind. Lots of battles underway in the midfield.
Like you say, those Ginettas are absolutely rapid around the corners, and at the inside there for the Racing, that's the number 40, looking like he's going to go up there to the inside of the 98. No, he had to back out of it in this early stage of this 45-minute race. Discretion, better part of valour.
I think that's quite right too, but through the turns, as we said at the very start of this race, that's where the Ginetta comes into its own. 40 from 98, 74 and 111. That's your top four. And after taking the lead from the start, Lee Frost is holding that. Little Clio's battling away behind. Everybody neat and tidy at the moment, as Sabra looking for a way by now. Seemed to have the straight line speed, didn't he, the number 40 car, Chris, but can't really do it through the turns. But up the inside now, here comes the number 74 Ginetta. It's Owen Hizzy aboard that car to start the race. He's looking for any opportunity. Now that's the car we thought hadn't made the start, but as a delayed start for the 179 car, Nigel Greensall. Not in any danger here, the leader.
Saw what looked like some fluid maybe coming out the rear of the number 98
Really?
Frost car there, so keep an eye out for that. There's definitely some sort of smoke or mist coming out rear right of that car, so keep an eye out for that. It seems to have abated slightly, but definitely worthwhile keeping an eye on.
Racier of the three at the moment looking to me like Owen Hitty in that number 74 Ginetta. He's going to want to stick as close as he can to the back of Sapra's BMW. These three getting away now. Moving beyond as the Mach G Mazda makes up a place into 5th place. The Mazda RX-8. And trouble, meanwhile, for the JW Bird Scirocco, the 64 car dropping back. Golf and Clio action here. You're going to see lots of that. Running a little bit wide there, didn't get the best run off the corner, and that's left the 3rd place car in a little bit of strife here and under attack now for the 111.
Like you say, the battling of the BMW is able to take their speed all the way down that straight, and the Ginettas definitely, when they get to the more twisty parts of the track, come back at them, but it's easier to defend in that.
Sapra to the outside there. Look to be a run potentially for the lead, still behind though as we saw them coming through. This is the Mazda RX-8, the 33 car, under some pressure for the 24 behind SVG Motorsports car. And the Mazda started by Johnny McGregor. Neil Wallace aboard the G55 Academy car. That's the battle at the moment for 5th place. Now we've got these three cars together. 74 looking racy, needs to get by because he's under threat at the moment for that 3rd place from the 111 car behind. Very neat and tidy stuff here. Better run off the corner there from the Ginetta. This is where the straight line speed of the BMW pays, holds the gap, looks to the inside. Looking to who's going to make a bit of a lunge first. It's surely going to come. They've all got that body language that they're just waiting for that error. They know it's a long race.
Twice we've seen the Ginetta right up with them at this stage, and then they sort of separate as they go down the south end of the circuit, and they all compress back up as they come to the north end again.
All these are Class 1 cars. It's all done with Britcar and power to weight ratio. You see the gap now before we get to the Mazda, which is pulling away now from the 6th place number 24 car. So the 111 car, it's a single driver car from Axel van Niederven. Still under pressure, this lead car though. Drifting through there, goes a little wide with Lisp at the moment. Holds it, but it's allowing that Ginetta to close up. It's going to take one tiny error from one or other of these BMWs. Again, Sapra goes to the inside. I think he's got the position this time. He's done him. He's thrown into the lead. Jas Sapra takes the lead in the number 40 BMW. 98 Lee Frost. I think he's going to lose another place as well, because the 74 car has got at the outside, takes the inside line, defends that well. And from 1st to 3rd in 2 corners for the number 98 BMW. Lee Frost dropping back into the clutches of the 111, and behind a veritable sackful of Renault Clios. Side-to-side action and contact. And amongst that lot, the 63 Scirocco. This is the lead group of the pack of Clios.
That's Richard Ashmole in the Motor Swan in the lead of that group, in the number 11.
The medal there, like the cuckoo in the nest, is the number 55 VW Golf, James Alford. That is on the Saxon Motorsport cars. The Saxon run Scirocco right behind. Colourful number 69 car there. And the 111 car is through into 3rd place. So from the lead to 4th now for the number 98 car. Lee Frost dropping back, and all of a sudden the lead is in question now. 74 in the hands of Owen Hizzy, looking for a way by Jas Sabra. The 98, I think the 98 is pitted. I think he may have pitted that car. So the 3-car train now in the lead of this race. Let's go down and hear what happened with that number 7 car before the start of the race.
Yes, Graham, I'm down here with Finn, talking about what happened to the car 7. What was the problem with the car?
The drive shaft just basically gave up. Like, we had some problems in qualifying with misfiring, and now that's obviously on the outlap just decided to give way.
Is that something, if the car can be recovered, you can maybe fix and get back out?
Yeah, of course. The mechanic, he's hot on with it, so he'll fix it by the next race, so we should be back out.
Obviously there's race 2 as well, so all to play for still today?
Oh, yeah, still to play for.
Okay, going back to you.
Thanks, David. So the 7 car potentially back out for tomorrow. We also got a quick shot there of the 98 car, Chris, going into the garage. That is a competitive proposition done, unfortunately. So we've lost 2 of these 35 cars. It's
so I think thought there was some fluid coming out the back of it, and I wonder whether that has run out. And we did say it was abated,
yeah,
but maybe that was incorrect to do abate.
Leapfrogging, meanwhile, through the pack of Clios comes this very pretty number 63 Scirocco, run by Saxon Motorsports. So this is a replica car of the factory-run VW Scirocco's from the Nürburgring 24 Hours some years ago. 63 car dicing away with the number 11 Clio. This team looking for a clean run after no real luck and a couple of incidents to start their season.
Stuart Mead and John Maudsley down to drive that car this weekend, but you said the points actually in this championship are car driven rather than the actual drivers.
Yeah, Maudsley starts the car this weekend. He's managed on straight line speed to get ahead of the Clios. Number 11 now under pressure on the 555 for the lead in this class. And the 11 car, sole driver Richard Ashmole in that car, 555. Charlie Hand second place in the overall championship and takes the position from Ashmole there. A couple of Golfs making their way through. That's the second of the Golfs from TSR, but they think it's certainly a drive problem for the number 7 car. TSR keen on do what they can do to secure this championship, and you'll see the drivers in that car switching around through this weekend's action. Curbs, a little bit infield, track, whatever does the job here in the Clios.
Yeah, a rocky ride for the Dragon Sport car there, but he did make that stick against the number 11. The number 11's being a bit shuffled backwards at this point.
Yeah, these Golfs beginning to make their superior power pay here. It's the Clios hunting in packs. 2 Golfs amongst those Clios. Oh, and a big moment there for the 96 car. Gathers that one up. What a hold! What a hold!
Front wheel drive, plant your foot on the throttle and hope for the best. I think that's probably the rules he was following right at that point.
Yeah, Reece Lloyd, that's a Cole Brown moment there for the Clio driver. Only lost 1 position to that. So a pretty Cole Brown moment for just about everybody behind him as well.
It looked like he had to get a little bit heavier on the brakes than he was expecting to avoid this number 11 in front of him. And yeah, the rear end stepped out and it never came back until the end of the corner, did it?
Well, he got a good view through the side window at least. Oh, and a spin there for the number 54 G40. That is John Wood in one of the multiple SVG Motorsport run cars. SVG running that G40 Cup here. Side by side, 77 Golf, 69 Clio. The Golf makes it through unscathed. Scirocco, though, having cleared this pack, is moving away. And a good run this time out for that Saxon Motorsport car. As the Clios gird their loins. Bit of a wide moment there for Alford on the exit.
The green track on the exit there, absolutely slippy as you like at the exit of Club there.
There's the leaderboard. 0.7 of a second between the number 40 Southern Green Motorsports BMW and the 74 SVG Ginetta, then the 111 Data Motorsport car, further half a second back, and the Mac G car being dropped by that trio. 7-8 seconds back now. Well, we saw the 98 car in the pit lane. Let's go down to David, who has Lee Frost with him to tell us what's going on with the BMW.
Hi Graham, yes, I'm with a rather despondent Lee Frost. It seems there's a problem with the gearbox.
Yeah, something on the drivetrain. It was vibrating in qualifying, but we thought it was a buckled wheel. And the green flag lap, it was still there, and then it just got worse and worse. I couldn't even hear the engine towards the end. I was just using my shift lights and trying to keep in front of Jazz, to be honest.
Such a shame. You had a mega start, really.
Yeah, no, I was trying to get gone really early on, and yeah, the car just, I think it looks pretty terminal. So,
is it something that the boys can change before the second race today, or is that it? Is that game over for the whole day?
See what they say, but I think it's a gearbox or a diff fault. So hopefully they can, but I doubt it. Looking at it.
So possibly an early bath, Graham, for Lee there, I'm afraid.
Not good news. Yeah, that's the kind of emotion you expect, don't you? It's ruined his day. It's ruined the team's day, and you can hear in his voice, can't you, Chris? Gutted with that, but he seems pretty certain we're not going to see that car back. At the front of this race, though, all of a sudden, BMW has gapped that pair of Ginettas. So we're going to pop back and see what's going on in Formula Chaos further back down here. The Clio Cup with those Class 3 Golfs in amongst them. Great power and great handling from all these little cars. It's VW Cup cars as well. Here comes Nigel Greensell, by the way, that delayed start for the 179 car.
He was 19th the last time through, having taken 4 places on that last lap, so he's clearly making his way through that field, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a spirited, I was going to say young man, Nigel Greensell. I say that with deep irony in my voice. Nigel is one of the busiest men in motorsports and seldom seen without a smile. It may well be that wasn't one on that opening lap, but he'll be able to grin as wide as this straight at the moment as he carves his way through and tries to make up positions to where that car really should have been in the order. But Nigel Greensell in that 179, the bright yellow Jeff Steele run BMW E36, here it is. Look at that, fire breathing. That's just the driver.
Yeah, licks of flame coming out the back there with a rear wing of a shelf, isn't it, out the back there, just generating that downforce and allowing him to really push this car. And he's got the next group of cars which he'll be looking to get past as soon as he can.
And yeah, he goes about that job with aplomb. Through on one of the Clios, that group of two. You don't want to get too close to the back of that, do you? It's going to melt the front bodywork of the car behind. So, Clio and Golf still to deal with. Just looking where that is in the overall order for the 179. Came through last time in 19th, but he's moved further up the order now. He's now in 12th, so another 7 places claimed by Nigel Greensell. Looking, it's well over a minute off the lead, unfortunately. It's an indication of the potential pace of that car. What a shame. Nigel will be having great fun here. 55 car, the last of his victims. Before he goes hunting for what's next, and what's next for him is the 63 Scirocco. So, leaderboard. As we go through, so we've seen the Team Brit BMW M240i, cracking little car this, entry level for BMW Motorsports. The number 40 car leads overall and leads Class 1 as well. Team Brit, the number 70. That's the leader in Class 2 and 6th overall at the moment for the BMW M240i. Car started by Chris Overend. Great looking, bright purple. But easy to pick that one out of the crowd. A couple of cars further back in 8th place is the number 35 car. That's the leader in Class 3. But as you can see, quite a gap to the 35 car. We'll stick with the M240i for the moment. There's the 35 car. The Chandler Motorsport car started by Harry Yardley Rose. running in 8th position overall. And with the number 76 BMW in close contention, Toad Motorsport car ahead. 76 car is a Class 1 car. It's a father-son effort, William Lynch and Freddie Lynch. It's dad at the wheel at the moment. Have to see what his son could do later with his 76 car. It's a black BMW with the green wheels. Then this is the Clio Cup leading car, the number 4 car, Motus One operated car. It's another single driver effort, Scott Simon, who was just being passed by Nigel Greensall. So we're into the pit stop window now. Remember, it's 2 minutes pit in to pit out is the minimum pit stop time. Less than that between the two white lines at the beginning and the end of the pit lane, and race control will come a knocking. It will be the now traditional meeting post-race without coffee or biscuits. Number 4 car is pushing on. Scott Simon.
See that traditional inside wheel clocking into the air as he takes it, pushes the car to its absolute limit.
Isn't it just? A 22 car here, Mark Warren in the 22 car leading the Ginetta G40. And that 22 car looking where he is in the overall order, but something like... Let's have a quick look. 22 cars down in 25th place. Ginetta orange top to the little G40. Still a pretty looking car. So you see the 24 car just about to get restarted. Driver change for the 24, it'd be in Astley. Veteran GT racer back out for some fun in the white and I guess you call that violet coloured car. 22 meanwhile looking to get stuck into the Golf running ahead. Pit stop now for the overall race leader as the G40 with one other further troubles to the 54. Second spin for the 54 car. That is John Wood. Rob Morgan still to come, and here we have the overall leader being pulled away, and just Serpra will be replaced by Brian Branson. Good looking car, that BMW. Do like a bright orange car.
Yeah, the limit of the pit in to pit out does mean that their drivers do have a chance to make sure they are fully inserted into that car, and it's a really good safety feature to have. It still keeps the pressure on, but it's long enough that they can make sure everything is sorted. Obviously, that's the most important thing. Yeah,
it's driver belts. There's a little bit of a problem there with the belt for the number 40 car. Tyre pressures being checked and adjusted. 111 will go through, or has gone through, into the lead. So Axel van Niederven is a solo driver in this 111 car. This is one of the new Ginetta G56 Academy cars. Great little package. Same kind of entry-level motorsport. It's hardly that. It's, you know, just below kind of GT4 type spec, and those cars very rapid indeed on the international scene. This is the car that was running in second from SVG Motorsport, the 74 car. Owen Hizzy will hand that car over to Mark Lee. And again, the cars, by the way, all must come in that 45-degree angle, be pushed back for safety. The warning flags are coming. 555. 11 and 44 for track limits, so penalties will follow if that's not heeded.
We saw a couple of penalties yesterday in the British Endurance Championship, so they are fully on the clocks every time they come in and out there, so they see whether everyone behaves themselves in the Brit Car Trophy Championship.
Yeah, 31 car of Tony Whitney in and out. 20 minutes to go. And we wait for the final pit stoppers. They will come, I'm sure, as soon as that pit lane quietens down a bit. That will be part of the strategy. A little clear ahead, just cocks the rear inside wheel. 27, Ginetta. That's Brendan Hafner's car. Again. Tyre pressures checked and adjusted. And 22 from the lead. The team go about their business. Mark Warren.
Such is the history of the Ginettas. You've got different, at least 4 different models we've got here. They're great little race packages they offer, aren't they? They're little off the shelf. You can pick them up and go racing.
Well, won the early Britcar 24 Hours here at Silverstone, and in fact, I think it might have been the first international race for the G40 package. The team drove the car from their Yorkshire base on the road, raced, won their class, drove it home again. It's the 24 car coming through traffic there. This car way down the order, the SVG car, 23rd overall. There is the Mach-G Mazda going around the outside of one of the G40s. That looks to me like the 62 car. That's Alex Turnbull and Graham Bishop's G40. Mach-G car number 33. That car has stopped. It's on its outlet now. So the 33 car in the hands now of Joshua Tomlinson. This beefy looking RX-8, actually a true frame car and a bit of a tribute car to the cars that competed in the Grand Am Championship. Oh dear me, and indeed drift cars. Tribute car to the cars that contested the GT class in the Grand Am Championship some years ago. Those cars now competing down under in Australia. Triple what? So anybody who's got a 2-car squad, the 111 isn't one of them. Axel van Niederven comes in now from the pit lane. By now, if you're a 2-car squad and you've not pitted, it's too late. But that's not a problem for the 111 car. Comes in from the lead. That should mean that we had the 111, the number 70 Team Brit car, and it's pit stop now. Also the Jeff Steele car, that delayed 179 on pit lane as well. They were running 1, 2, 3, but of course out of sequence on the pit stops. So we look to see just exactly where that number 40 car blends back in here. On pace coming in, should be in the lead of this race. Again, team go to work. Axel will stay aboard the car. And very competent run from Van Niederven, the start of this race. Took track position, waited until the pit lane was nice and clear. A good strategy for a single driver in this race.
It's very calm and collected,
doesn't
in
he?
the cockpit, doesn't he?
74 car now. Where is the 74 against R40 ahead? So the SVG Motorsport car, the 74 car, now in the hands of Mark Lee, is indeed ahead of the number 40 car. So the pit stops have made a fundamental difference in the overall order. Now, is that on the pace of the second driver, or did somebody's pit stop just take a little longer than it should have done or could have done? You know there's pace in that BMW.
See, drivers spend a lot of time trying to gain a few seconds out on track, and you can easily lose that in a pit stop if something doesn't go to plan. So yeah, it can easily adjust the order as we're just waiting for the timing screens to all unwind.
Yep. Oh, bit of a stall there for Van Niederven. No, it wasn't a stall, it was a release for the that's going to cost him a little bit of time, and that means this pair are going to go through 1-2 with a 111 to feed back in shortly into third place, but I think a more distant third place, Chris. There's definitely ground been lost there to that pit stop.
And like you say, now it's about the relative drives of the speed, the second driver stepping into some of these cars to see how the balance of power works on that.
So 74 from 40. The cars ahead still owe us pit stops. The two Clios still ahead in this race. For the 555, 111 will feed out into third place in the overall order. This all balances back out. It will be the SVG Motorsport number 74 Ginetta G56 ahead of the Simon Green Motorsport M3, and then with this second Ginetta in third. This is our lead pair in traffic. BMW's not given this one up, has it?
No, he's got the absolute pace. He's closed that gap in already, and it does look like he's got this Silverstone circuit seems to suit that top speed, doesn't it? More than maybe the cornering ability of the Ginetta this time out.
You're right, absolutely right. Closing in by the look of things, pretty quickly. Once he's got into clear air, it does seem to me like Brian Branson can close right up, and this traffic there with the 127 Golf, that's not helped, and still delayed. Can the BMW make quicker way through? I think it can. Portsmouth just a rather better place. This is the 40 car closing in. Let's go down now to pit lane, where we've got Jazz Sapra, who had the first stint aboard the bright orange BMW.
Jazz, great first stint for you, but it looks like you're now in a battle.
Are we? I think we are.
Yeah, you've missed out a little bit on that pit stop. Have you dropped a bit on the guys from the 74 in the Ginetta car?
I ain't looked on TSL everywhere, but I think I'm sure Brian will get it back up there.
He's right on their tail, and obviously the BMW's a little bit quicker down the straight, but the Ginetta's got you a little bit on the corners.
The Ginetta's quicker through Maggis and Beckett's because of the aero. We'll just have to plant it through there and hope for the best, get down the straight as quick as we can, really, and build an advantage on them, really.
We just heard that actually he's gone back into the lead, so obviously that's put a smile back on your face.
Has he? Yeah. Oh, that's good. I know he'll do it for me.
Obviously, you've still got a fair way of the race to go, another sort of 10-15 minutes, so pull an advantage and hopefully...
Yeah, well, I think I pulled a few seconds when I brought the car in. Obviously, we lost it on the pits. But, it was all good. Done my best as much as I could do.
Looking forward to race 2 then?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, he'll be starting that one.
Back to you, Graham.
Thanks very much indeed. And as he said it happened, coming to the end of that lap, 40 back into the lead. And that just looked like underpower around the outside. Maybe the Ginetta stumbled a little bit more with that traffic, but now clear. All of a sudden, Brian Branson appears to be able to just gap that Ginetta. So the order is going to be 74 from the 40, then the 111. So waiting to see just exactly how these Clios actually pop back out into their class order. Fourth place, when this all pans out, is going to be the number 24 SVG Motorsport Ginetta, and then the Mach G Mazda. So that's changed as well through the pit stops. So again, 45 minutes it may be. It's still endurance racing. Warm day in these cars. Big front engine cars under this kind of load. Not the comfiest Sunday lunchtime. Now we've got a Clio just holding up the leader a little bit there. That's given the Ginetta an opportunity for a run here. And not quite room up the inside there, but this is a part of the circuit that suits the handling characteristics of the Ginetta. Just seems again as if Branson's got just a little bit more. Going to need that run. Had it, wasn't close enough. And again on the straight, the M3 pulling away.
Like you say, he got compromised, didn't he? He had to jink a little bit left and right just to protect that, and then the extra top-end speed that he's got this weekend just enabled him to defend as he went down into Brooklands. But I don't think if he hadn't jinked and blocked that move, I think that we would have seen maybe another chance for that Ginetta. It's definitely not, although it looks like it's dropping back, the traffic is definitely coming into effect now.
Yeah, this time though, the little Clio gets in between the two. Oh, it's a Clio across the infield in avoidance. BMW on pace here has got the quicker package today. It's going to come down to whether or not opportunity knocks with traffic or any kind of error that can be forced. So the 40 BMW, 59 car. That car in a little bit of woe. That's the 59 car. Stephen Moore aboard that car now. This is the 24, fourth position for that car. And the Team Brit number 70 car behind, but I think that is a lap down. It is a lap down, so quite what's happened with Team Brit, that would have been a longer pit stop, of course. 24 car now in the hands of Ian Astley. and Ian's lap times are good, but not matching the 3 ahead. So Team Brit number 70 car, a team of course featuring in the British GT Championship this year with drivers that earned their spurs through the British Endurance Championship. But the number 70 car now in the hands of James Whitley, Paralympic skier. Of course, the unique challenges of this all-disabled crew does mean a longer pit stop for them. Still a great-looking car, that BMW 63 Scirocco. It's like a dogfight out there, isn't it? Clio's, Golfs, BMW, that's the leader coming through. Now this could be an interesting moment, Chris, as the overall race leader comes into real traffic. Is this the moment that the Ginetta is looking for? Where is the Ginetta? Dropped back a little with his own woes, but still 2-3 cars ahead for the BMW to deal with.
Yeah,
not sure that Ginetta's close enough.
I don't think so at this stage, and like you say, he's already made his way through a couple of those, which the Ginetta's still having to make his way through. So at the moment, that's still balanced off, but certainly you don't want to catch him in the wrong place, you know, the middle of Beckett's, and there's nothing you can do about it. But he's got past one at the start of Beckett's, and let's see whether he can get the other one down the hanger straight. That will be best of both worlds for him, I think.
Yeah, that's the 64 Scirocco is the next to fall to the sword in traffic. Ginetta's not lost out here, but he's not gained either, and I think that could have been the chance he was looking for. Under 8 minutes to go now, 45-minute race, remember, today. At the moment, the number 40 Southern Green Motorsport BMW, in the hands of Brian Branson, looks to be in very good order, and now has a clear track ahead, for a little while at least. 74, this Ginetta has not given up the chase. Mark Lee pushing on and gapping the car behind the 111 car. Axel van Niederveen has another problem for yet another of the Ginetta G40s. Peter Dillnot this time. I think championship leader in the class, the 44 car. Up the inside of the last bit of traffic for a little wee while, I think, for the race leader. Going to be getting some penalties coming for short pit stops very shortly. That includes, by the way, penalty for the number 44 car for track limits. The 11 car as well gets a penalty for track limits, another one of the Clios. Looking down where the class positions are at the moment, Class 1 is the 1, 2, 3, 4. The Westbourne Motors 41 car that leads Clio Cup has not pitted. So that's going to leave the number 4 Motus 1 car, 54, a third time, I'm afraid, off the track. And this time, that's going to be a bit more difficult to recover to the track. So it's been a traumatic day so far for the number 54. I think it's made it back out though.
Well done, that wasn't easy. Still not there yet, but very nearly. He's just rocking the car, isn't he? Every time he spins up the wheels, it digs itself a little hole.
Yeah, this is the 41 Westbourne Motors car, shown on our timing and scoring as not having pitted. Hearing that car was carrying a transponder issue earlier. If that car hasn't pitted, or has pitted rather, there's quite a remarkable performance. I don't believe it has. It is shown at the moment as running 5th overall in amongst the Class 1 cars. Slippery surface flag, that could be for gravel. 27th car coming through. That's in 24th position, the Raceway Motorsport car. And all of a sudden that 41 car has now come into the pits, so it'll drop down to rather more realistic part in the order, and my guess is a bit of trouble. Number 4 will be the leader in Clio Cup. Now, just looking here, what have we got? We've got car 64, 88 and 127. all getting stop-go penalties for short pit stops. So 127 is the VW Golf in 22nd place. The 88 car, it's a little way down the order, not featuring in the overall battles, and the 64 is the 11th place VW Scirocco. That's the orange Scirocco. It's a Class 2 car, and I think it's the Class 2 leader that is going to hand the Class 2 lead to the 63 car, the purple Scirocco. Meantime, under 4 minutes to go now, and the Simon Green Motorsport BMW M3 away and clear here. Still traffic to come. Just when you don't want it, when you're just trying to nail this in the last 2 or 3 minutes, that is going to be our new Class 2 leader, with the penalty coming the way of the 64 car. And it needs to be taken or will be added as a time penalty post-race. This is that very purposeful looking, I said purple didn't I, it's black and teal. The tribute bodywork, shall we call it. VW entered a squad of cars looking remarkably like this in the Nürburgring 24 Hours some years ago. Does look a cracking little thing, something like 300 plus horsepower from that car. 555 Clio is one of the group of cars that's going to have to be dealt with by the leader around the outside of the 31 Ginetta G40. Done that with very little delay. Then the Clio next, 2.5 minutes to go. That gap, it's come down a little, but not enough.
He should certainly be looking in his rear mirror still, and this is a
Absolutely.
penultimate lap now.
Not,
so only
no time to relax, is there?
No, really not for that.
Side by side here between the number 11 and the 89 in the Clio Cup. And that, I think, may well be for position. These are very quick little cars. Many years, of course, featured on the TOCA package. Still a very popular club level car on the national racing scene. Still traffic, under 2 minutes now. Brian Branson soaked up just about everything that this race can throw at him.
And that gap is much reduced now.
Isn't it just? One more challenge, and that challenge is the VW Golf ahead. Get by that car with limited delay. Blue flag's been flown now, goes to the inside. 55 car stays to the outside. It's John Alford, I think, in that car. Apologies, James Alford. It's definitely come down, but is the clock going to beat him? This is the last lap now, and I don't think there's a challenge from traffic that's going to intervene here. Very neat and tidy stuff for the number 40 car from Simon Green Motorsports. Brian Branson taking the car over after a stint that saw Chaz Sabra in the lead, lost the lead in the pits, hunted down the number 74 car. There is going to be traffic, isn't there?
Yeah, looks like that might even be traffic right at the tail end of this lap as well, right?
It does indeed. 3 cars ahead of him. It's a Clio, it's a Ginetta G40, and at least one more car that might have to be dealt with before we can call the winner here. It's going to come down to whether or not it can stay neat and tidy. The 40 car. Let's go down to David with news about what went on for that 41 car that appeared not to have pitted.
Hi Graham, talking to the team, it would seem that there was a potential issue with communication between the driver and the pit wall, so he was out enjoying himself.
Lead battle almost nose to tail as they come through traffic now. Second car taking his shot. Is it going to be a lunge at the end? Not, no space there, but still traffic to come. Clock has run down. And the 74 car now. This is all about a big sideways moment there for Branson. No opportunity there to take advantage, and now it's massive defence and 3 Ginettas and 1 Golf He's going to be desperate to get these cars to a straight line before we get into anything twisty. Gone fully defensive as they come into the final complex. Could not take advantage when the BMW ran wide, and I think that was the final chance. Goner begging. It's going to be a win for the number 40 Simon Green Motorsport BMW M3. Brian Branson will bring it home. Jazz Sapra, the opening stint from the number 74 car, Mark Lee and Owen Hissey for SVG Motorsport. And we wait for the Dayton Motorsport number 111 with Axel van Diedeven to complete the overall podium. Clio Cup will be the Motus One number 4 car. There goes the 111. And that was the next class leading car home, by the way, 555 Clio, second in the Clio Cup stakes, and then the 89 will complete that podium. Class 3, 8th overall for Chandler Motorsports VW Golf Cup. There is the Class 2 leading car, the 63 Saxon Motorsport car, into the top 10 for that car. Just looking where our leader was in the Ginetta G40s. That car a little way further down, but that, by the look of things, is going to be the number 27 Raceway Motorsport car. Well, Chris, that final lap, the opportunity was there. It was a very squirrely sideways moment for the leading car through traffic, pushing hard and pushed just a little too hard, but microscopically away from a full lose there.
He just got pinched, didn't he, into the loop for that final time. That's where they caught all that traffic, and he was pinched on the inside, and it pushed him all the way to the extreme edge of the track, and he had to put his wheels onto the green AstroTurf, and after all the rain there was absolutely no grip, and the car pretty much went 45 degrees sideways. He'd be lucky to catch that. Great bit of skill there, but the Ginetta, because of the other cars around, just couldn't actually deal with that. He didn't get to solidify that result.
His line was compromised, I think, through the same turn, so didn't have the opportunity to get the power in where he needed it. Then comes the 179 car after that delayed start. 5th overall, by the way, for the Jeff Steele car from, well, I think a full minute back. So an excellent final result from them.
Lots of cars overtaken in that car, yeah.
Yep, David Gooding to finish that race. And is that the Mazda coming home? It is. Mazda will come home in 6th place overall. See the 179 car. This is the overall result then. Simon Green Motorsports number 40 BMW then takes the win, just over half a second clear after a spirited attack right to the flag from the SVG Motorsport Ginetta, the number 74 car. Then it's a pair of the Ginetta G55 Academy cars, the 111 car, coming home to complete the overall podium. 14 seconds back, 5 seconds ahead of the second of the SVG Ginettas, in 4th place, the number 24 car. The 179, a late starter, came through to finish 5th overall. The next class winner, Motus One car, the Clio Cup, the Gen 4 car from Motus One, 7th overall in the standings. And then Class 3 winner, the number 35 car, came home in 8th. Class 2 taken by the 10th place overall car, the Saxon Motorsport Scirocco, that number 63 car. Let's go down and see what David's picked up from our winning squad and the number 40 car.
Yeah, we're down with the winners here. Jazz has got a massive smile on his face, really pleased, and Brian just taking his helmet off now. Jazz, great result there for you.
Yeah, it was good, yeah. Brian, I think we had a bit of a fuel issue. He was saying he had a bit of fuel surge. So when he brought it back home, I think it was tough at the end, I think.
Brian, you had to do some catching up there with the guys in second place. You were able to sort of make up that lost time in the pit wall, but big smile on your face too.
I've never been so scared in my race in my life. The last 3 laps, we think was running out of fuel. So every corner, it was starvation on me. On the last lap, literally Mark Lee was bumper to bumper.
Obviously, loaded it with a bit more fuel for race 2, but
we don't know if that's what it was, but it felt like that.
You're starting in race 2.
Yeah, starting race 2. Yeah.
Well done, boys.
Thanks ever so much.
We'll
they're
move
in-
across to the guys over on in second position. Well done, congratulations. You were catching him there towards the end.
Yeah, I felt his tyres were just starting to go off a little bit, as they tend to do on the M3. So, yeah, getting there, but not long enough.
You came out of the pit stop ahead of these guys, so obviously you were able to make up a bit of time on them.
Yeah, luckily we got the pit stop right. For once.
You got a bit of pressure off the start from Jazz, but able to sort of reel him back in and come back for the second.
Yeah, Mark did a great job. We managed to stick with Jazz for a little bit, and he pulled a little bit of a gap from me. All it was just try and keep as close as possible, and then use the traffic in just before we came into the pit stop to try and close the gap, which we did in the pit stop, and we managed to jump ahead. But they were so quick in the straight line, and it's going to be close for the next one. So all it is great for this result, and now let's go again.
Well done, congratulations. And finally, the guys from in third position. Well done, third place. They're a little bit out in front of you, but you hung on there.
No, but it's okay. It's sort of just in the second stint a little bit unlucky with traffic. You can't catch them in corners, and that's the problem. You can't really overtake them. So, but otherwise, car's good. And we're looking forward to the second race.
You're driving on your own, so does that make a difference? Is that a different sort of approach to the race for you?
What, just driving on my own? That's just more fun.
Well done. Back to you, Graham.
Great spirit down with the overall podium finishers. A little bit of needle between the drivers, a little bit of needle with the team, but all smiles for the top three. Simon Green Motorsports BMW ahead of the SVG Motorsport Ginetta G56 and the G55 Academy car from Dayton Motorsport. And great to see from Axel van Niederven there. Looking forward to another 45 minutes of fun and games. It does make it a bit of an endurance day for these guys, an hour and a half in these cars, but a great final lap and a good tussle between those top two, Chris, throughout that 45-minute race.
Yeah, great to see a last lap battle in an endurance race in 45 minutes. They're right next to each other on track. A bit of excitement there at the end of the race, but equally you've got more action for the same. So the teams have now got to work hard to get the cars ready again for more of the same later on.
Yeah, good to hear at the end there. Some problems at the end for that BMW, but enough in hand, just enough for the Simon Green Motorsport number 40 car to take the win. It's a mouth-watering prospect though, isn't it, with the same teams. But the drivers in reverse orders will be back for more later this afternoon for another 45 minutes of the Brick Car Trophy.